At Google, they've decided we give everybody this 20% time rule.
Right.
It's in one of your books as well.
Right.
You're enthusiastic about this. Why?
In many ways, 20th century management was about getting compliance. It was about getting people to do exactly what you, the leader, wanted them to do. I don't think we want compliance anymore. You want engagement. There's a very big difference between the two, compliance and engagement. And traditional management does not lead to engagement.
It's about control.
It's about control, and it's about getting compliance. No one has ever engaged in a deep sense by having someone try to control them. No one has ever engaged by being managed or by being bribed. People become engaged through self-direction. And what that means is that leadership today has to be about providing opportunities for really enormous amounts of autonomy. And if you look at what happened at Google, most of Google's innovations, you can trace the roots back to 20% time.
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them. So if you look at something like Google News, which has terrified the North American newspaper business, Google News was not an official project, 20% project. You look at Gmail, everyone and their brother has a Gmail account these days. You look at Gmail, Gmail was not an official project, it was a 20% project.
You cannot have these creative ideas when the boss tells you to have them.
That's exactly right. And I think bosses, I think what's strange is that a lot of bosses don't really understand that.
Is it possible for the average leader to make the turn? What is it they should do?
Well, think of it like muscles that they haven't used for a while. You have the muscles. You're gonna be a little bit sore and creaky when you start working them. But I think most people everybody has these muscles, and it's simply a matter of working them back into shape. And the big surprise that I've seen is that people often will realize, hey, I'm actually never knew that I was actually okay at symphony, or I'm better at empathy than I thought.
How do you do it? How do you get from this one side to the other side?
I'm a very left-brain guy. I love numbers. I love data. I'm logical. I'm linear. What I've done a number of things. I've worked quite a bit on my empathy, and
how do you do that?
All kinds of things. I'll give you the best thing for improving your empathy. Listen. A lot of times people think that the opposite of talking is waiting. And that's how I used to be. And what it's really...
Keeping your mouth shut.
Keeping your mouth shut.
And think about other things.
You're right, and listening. Well, keeping your mouth shut and contemplating what you're going to say next. But it's really listening to what people are saying. Understanding someone else's point of view is part of what it is to be human. Wondering why you're here and seeking purpose and meaning is part of what it is to be human. Seeing how the pieces fit together is part of what it is to be human. And I think that, in some ways, 20th century work didn't allow people to be fully human at work. And now I think 21st century work does allow people to be fully human. And in fact, it actually demands that they're fully human and that leaders recognize that full humanity.